Testing, testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Making sure that I'm coming through clearly. Hope you're all doing well today, wherever you may be, wherever you might be listening. Special live stream that we're doing. Just going to be allowing everyone to file in. This is a message for everyone that will be listening in later. If you're a fan of PowerCore Productions, podcasting, stories, and everything else that we have to offer, then please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and hit that bell for post notifications so you can always stay up to date on everything that is PowerCore Productions and podcastings that has to come out now and in the future. Now, I could have come up with something for April 1st, April Fools. But that's really not my style. That's really not my thing. It's not what you've come to expect from me. So instead, what am I going to do? What am I going to talk about? Well, truth be told, I wasn't even going to do a live stream today. It was actually going to be pretty chill. I was still trying to brainstorm some ideas. But then I saw something. I saw something. And I'm not going to lie. It pissed me off. It pissed me off so much, I had to jump on a live stream to talk about it. Because if I didn't, I feel like I was going to lose my mind and go insane. What pissed me off, you might be asking? Well, I was scrolling through YouTube, like I always do, watching some videos, people's reactions to things, and I saw someone talk about Spider-Man. Talk about comic accurate. Kept throwing that word around. Comic accurate. Comic accurate. Comic accurate. Like, the guy kept saying it so much. Like, damn, I thought he was a parakeet. And I feel like this has to be said. Because if I don't say it, it'll never be said. Can we stop with comic accurate? Like, can we take comic accurate, right? Can we take comic accurate? Can we take it old Yeller style to the barn and just blast its brains out? Like, can we put 2 slugs in comic accurate, please? Please? Please. Can we kill comic accurate? Because I have gotten to the point where I am just done with people. Like, I am done with people I'm done with a lot of people in general. Like, a lot of people. I don't know. I think I'm going to do a couple of live streams. For those of you who are wondering, the Dr. Fate JoJo Season 2 finale, we are doing that this week. It's just that it's going to be a really long script. So I'm still writing it and still recording it, but it is coming out this week. But I wanted to make this video just to say, can we stop with the comic accurate? Jeez, because, we ignore comic accuracy when it suits us. And it's so hypocritical when people talk about what is and what isn't comic accurate. Because me personally, I have gotten to the point where I do not care. I don't care about comic accuracy. I don't care what did or what didn't happen. Because here's the thing. Comics are not manga. They'll never be manga. It doesn't matter what you do. It does not matter what you do. It does not matter at this point. Because the reason why I'm saying this is because when it comes to comic accurate, my question is, what the hell does that even mean? What does comic accurate really mean? What does comic accurate mean? Because when you say comic accurate, you could literally be talking about anything. Like Spider-Man. Let's use Spider-Man as the primary example for this crap. Because I feel like it's always with people like Spider-Man, Batman. It's always... People will say, oh, Spider-Man should be comic accurate. What exactly do you mean by comic accurate? Do you mean 1960s, 70s comic accurate? Do you mean 1980s comic accurate? Do you mean 1990s comic accurate? Do you mean 2000s comic accurate? Or 2010s comic accurate? Or 2020 comic accurate? You see the running problem that you have with this sort of comic accurate bull? Because every time you say comic accurate, you can literally start anywhere. Anywhere. And I'm saying this because for anyone that comes across this video, and for those of you who are certain fans of the Sam Raimi Spider-Mans, or the Amazing Spider-Man, or Tom Holland and MCU Spider-Man, or Spectacular Spider-Man, or Spider-Man the Animated Series, or Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, any Spider-Man, take your pick, I really don't care. Comic accurate is bullshit. It's just bullshit. It does not matter what comic you are talking about, because there are multiple comics. Like me personally, I have never understood how a comic book could piss anyone off. Like how? How do you get pissed off at a comic book? It doesn't matter what you write in a comic book, because 9 times out of 10, whatever is done in a comic book is gonna get undone. Like seriously. And look, I'll say this. I am someone who absolutely hates Spider-Man One More Day. You won't find, well, Linkara probably hates it a little more than I do, but Spider-Man One More Day, right? One of the most atrocious, one of the most embarrassing, one of the worst things that happened in Spider-Man comics. Here's the thing. One More Day happened in like what? The mid-2000s? We're halfway to 2030. We're almost 25 years removed from Spider-Man One More Day, and we're still talking about it. Like it has some lasting effect, that it did some permanent damage. It must not, because Spider-Man has hooked up with Mary Jane, dumped her, she dumps him, they get back together, they have more kids. Did One More Day really accomplish anything? Has One More Day ever accomplished anything? And then here's another thing. Here's another thing too. I was thinking about this also. You have people that hate Miles Morales, right? They say, oh, Miles Morales tried to replace Peter Parker. He's a DEI. He's all this stuff. Last time I checked, Miles came from the Ultimate Universe. And correct me if I'm wrong, Ultimate Spider-Man is not Peter Parker. So I never even understood, how do you hate Miles? He just replaced a Spider-Man in an alternate universe that's not 616. Make it make sense. Comic books are like the phoenix. They fly, they burn, crash, die, and then they rise up again. Nothing in comic books that happens ever, rarely ever has a lasting impact. Now that I think about it, in terms of Marvel Comics, there are only 2 characters that I can think of off the top of my head, only 2, who have actually died and stayed canonically dead. That is Black Goliath and the first Captain Marvel, Marvel. Those are the only 2 who have been dead. Everyone else comes back. Even Ultimate Spider-Man, right? Even Ultimate Spider-Man, the guy that Miles replaced, got brought back to life and has a comic book. So please, spare me with this comic accurate nonsense. Because if we want to have a comic accurate Ultimate Spider-Man, that means we have to have a Spider-Man that gets shot by Punisher, that dies at the hands of the Green Goblin, gets replaced by Miles. Miles gets taken to another universe via Secret Wars. Then the Maker comes back, remakes the Ultimate Universe, and brings Ultimate Spider-Man back to life. So, even something as groundbreaking as the death of Spider-Man. See, this is how comic books are such bullshit. They couldn't even kill off the real Spider-Man. They didn't even have the balls to kill off the real 616 Spider-Man. They had to kill off a Spider-Man in another universe, and then they still turned around and brought him back. It's the Ultimate Universe. They're calling it the Ultimate Universe. It's the Ultimate Universe. It doesn't matter. They brought back the Ultimate Universe. And that's another thing. That's another thing too. Secret Wars. We went through this whole grand arc journey bullshit to destroy the Ultimate Universe just to bring it back. This is how pointless it all is. It doesn't matter what you do in a comic. It does not matter. Comic accurate is bullshit. Because in the end of the day, you can interpret it any way you want. Heck, if we want to be comic accurate, Superman can't fly. If we're being comic accurate, Superman never flies. He never flew a day in his life. He only leaped tall buildings in a single bound. If we want to be comic accurate, Batman used to kill. You can say he only killed for the first couple of comics, but that doesn't change the fact that he still killed people. He hung someone from the Batwing. He hung a man from the Batwing and said they're as good as dead. How do you make this up? If we really want to be comic accurate, Wonder Woman wears a skirt, not underwear. If we really want to be comic accurate with it. And look, if I'm being personally frank with you, I kind of wish we would do away with comic accuracy. I want to tell... Look, this is why I made this channel. Because I want to tell new stories. I want to tell stories that have never been done before. I want to take a character than they've ever been. That's the fun. There's nothing fun about sticking to a status quo all the time. Like, seriously, and I'm using Spider-Man as the primary example, but you could use Batman, Superman, anyone you want. Why does Spider-Man always have to go from Gwen Stacy to Mary Jane? Why is this a thing? Spectacular Spider-Man? It should have been Liz Allen. Liz Allen was the perfect love interest for Peter Parker in that particular universe. Liz should have been his thing. Not MJ, not Gwen. Because as much as I love Spectacular Spider-Man, and I love Spectacular Spider-Man, I don't care for Gwen Stacy in that show, and I don't care for Mary Jane in that show. And Mary Jane is cool. Like, she could be a cool, platonic friend to Peter in that universe. Liz should have been the girl. Him and Liz had a connection. They had a bond. I wanted to see them build on that. But no, we just have to go. We have to go down the Gwen Stacy route. Personally, and I know they're bringing Gwen Stacy back in the comics. Give me a comic book universe with Spider-Man where Gwen Stacy just lives. Give me a universe where someone else dies. Like, if you want to kill off Mary Jane, you want to kill off Aunt May, or Harry, or Flash, anybody else. Why can't we just have a universe where Gwen lives? Why can't we tell that story? Why can't we have a story where Peter just does something different, where characters do something different? Heck, in the Superman animated series, I liked Lana, I think her name was Lana Lane, the country red-haired girl who was Clark's childhood friend. If you remember in Superman the animated series, when Clark first discovers his powers, he's walking home from school with some red-haired girl. Lana Lang, yes, Lana Lang. Why can't Lana Lang be a love? Like, she was into him. She liked him. They had a good thing going. Why does it have to be Lois? Why does it always have to be Lois? I get it. They're iconic. They're the most iconic duo of all time. But seriously, in every universe, he's got to get with Lois Lane. And if I'm being entirely honest, the only Lois that I really like is the Lois from My Adventures with Superman. And that's because she is a beauty. Like, she is, My Adventures with Superman Lois, I love that version of Lois. Love it. And I mean, the animated one's good too. I still like My Adventures more. I don't care. I'll die on that hill. I will die on that hill alone. Whew. Tomboy Lois Lane with the caramel skin. Ooh, yeah. Why can't we spice it up? Why can't we change it? Why does it always have to be the same, man? I mean, Batman gets any love interest he wants. And I say this as someone who plays the Arkham games religiously. You go from Catwoman to Talia. I mean, that's probably the only two we got. But, I mean, you got Catwoman, you got Talia, you got Poison Ivy. I mean, Poison Ivy was kind of cool in Arkham Knight. Heck, I would like to see Nightwing get with... No, I can't. No, that's not good. I mean, yeah, Nightwing and Starfire. Yeah, why can't Nightwing and Starfire just be a canon thing? Make Nightwing and Starfire, okay? Batgirl, I'm sick of seeing Batgirl date everyone in the Bat family. That's just weird. Like, does anybody else think that's weird? Batgirl just gets passed around like a freaking blunt by the Bat. Batgirl is a bat hoe to the Bat family, and that is kind of tiring. And I say this as someone who likes Batgirl. Can we stop putting Batgirl with every member of the Bat family? This happens in the Arkham game. It happens in the animated series. It happens in the animated series tie-in book. I don't want to see Batgirl with Nightwing. I don't want to see Batgirl with Tim Drake. I don't want to see Batgirl with Jason Todd or Damian Wayne. I damn sure don't want to see Batgirl with Bruce Wayne. Can we let Batgirl do something different? Can we send Batgirl to another... Give Starfire to Nightwing. Nightwing and Starfire. That's where you go. Batgirl. What about Kyle Rayner? What about Kyle Rayner? Why can't we give her the, like, Kyle Rayner or something? Or do Batgirl go off and do something else? Batgirl Blue Beetle. Batgirl Blue Beetle. There you go. Like, why can't we get a fun Batgirl doing something totally different? Let her go to her own city, do her own thing, give her a rogues gallery. Why does Batgirl only exist to be passed around by the Bat family? That is sick. And look, DC editorial, if you hear this, do not put her with the Signal. Duke Thompson, don't do it. Don't do it. I'm warning you. Don't put her with Signal. Don't put her with Batwing. Stop. Stop it, DC. Stop it. Send Batgirl somewhere else. Get Batgirl out of Gotham. Like, damn. Why is Batgirl not on the Justice League yet? Can someone explain that to me? How is Batgirl not with the Justice League? Has Batgirl ever been with the Justice League? Put her on Justice League International. You know what? Here's a team for you. Give me Batgirl. Give me Kyle Rayner, Green Lantern. Do with that what you will. I mean, Ray and Beast Boy is pretty iconic, so you can do with that what you will. If so, I've never seen it. I have never seen Batgirl on like a official Justice League team. And she should be, because I like Batgirl. And my favorite Batgirl suit is the black and yellow one with the black suit with the yellow gloves and the yellow boots and the yellow cape. That's my favorite Batgirl, if you're wondering. Basically, the Batgirl from the New Adventures of Batman. That version is my favorite. Had a big crush on her when I was young, too. Favorite Batgirl. See, yeah, like Raven and Robin in the DCAU. Like, in that particular universe, you can do a Raven and a Robin. It's okay to switch things up. Huntress, I don't know what you do with Huntress. Half the time she's her own person. Other half the time she's the daughter of Batman. Take it what you will. Do what you will. But yeah, comic accurate. Just can we stop? I like comic accurate as much as the next guy. I do. But it's okay to change up the story. It's okay. Everything doesn't have to be comic accurate all the time. Sometimes it's for the better. Okay? and I say this as a Green Lantern fan, there's a certain thing that happened with Green Lantern in the comic books that we don't talk about because some stupid predator schmuck just had to ruin Hal Jordan and put him with a certain somebody that he should have never been with anyway. But it is what it is. It is what it is. I accept it. Just saying, we could switch things around. Batman and Wonder Woman, why can't that be a thing? We could tell so many amazing stories. And here's another thing. Here's another thing too. Why can't we like draft villains that aren't being used and send them to other people to get used? Like, why haven't we pushed for villains who are better suited elsewhere to fight against other heroes? And I'll give you an example. Tombstone from Spider-Man. I get that Tombstone is a Spider-Man villain, but if we're being honest, Tombstone would be a lot better if he were a Luke Cage villain. Just like Kingpin. Kingpin was like a Spider-Man villain at first, but then he shifted over to fighting Daredevil. And Spider-Man and Batman have such a deep rogues gallery, I think you could afford to switch people up a little bit. Like, why is Killer Shark or King Shark or whoever he is, why is he fighting the Flash? Why does King Shark fight the Flash and you have Aquaman? Like, that doesn't even make sense. Why is King Shark fighting on land against the Flash when you have Aquaman right there? Or Scarecrow. Scarecrow, right? Why is Scarecrow... I mean, I get why Scarecrow is a Batman villain because it's iconic. But hear me out. Hear me out. What if we made Scarecrow a Green Lantern villain? Think about it. And I mean, it's probably hard to do this now. They probably should have done it a while ago. Think about it. Green Lantern. In brightest day, in blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. The willpower to overcome fear. Scarecrow, the embodiment of fear. I'm going to be making a new one. I'm going to be rebooting Naruto Yokai. I'm still working on that, but I do want to try to do that this year. To answer your question. But again, why can't we get Scarecrow versus Green Lantern? Like, I would much rather see Scarecrow go up against the Green Lantern in a story. I know Green Lantern has become... I mean, I know Scarecrow became a Yellow Lantern once. But, like, if anyone should be a Yellow Lantern and just send him off to space to just do whatever, why not Scarecrow? Why not have Scarecrow get possessed by Parallax? The entity of fear. The man that, like, all he does is try to scare people. It makes sense. Why do we have to keep having Scarecrow and Batman? Like, it's kind of boring now. It's kind of played out. It's like every time Scarecrow fights Batman, it's the same thing. I'm gonna drop fear toxin on Gotham and make everyone experience their worst fears. Or he uses a syringe and stabs Batman with fear toxin, only for Batman to shrug it off. And he does the whole, I am vengeance, I am the night, I am Batman. And we go through this over and over again. Mongol and Shazam. I'd rather see Mongol go fight Shazam. Because Mongol used to be a Superman villain primarily. Then he went to go fight Kyle Rayner, Green Lantern. And, like, he hasn't done anything since. We need to start shifting these villains around. Like, villains need to rotate. We need to get, like, a rotation. If you're not... I would say this. If you're Green Goblin is a Spider-Man villain. I wouldn't send Green Goblin to fight anyone else. But if you're a villain that's not getting used like that, put villains in rotation and let them go fight someone else. It's kind of like dating. You see, heroes and villains are like a couple. You gotta find people that have chemistry. You gotta find people that that you wouldn't think could work together, and then they work together. You gotta find that balance. Like, it shouldn't always, like, you can't go to the same thing all the time. Because it gets repetitive. It gets boring. It's like, I've seen Batman fight Scarecrow enough times. Like, I don't need to see him fight him anymore. We're past that. Ooh, Professor Zoom and Superman. What if Professor Zoom was as petty to Superman as he was the Flash? Like, how would Superman handle someone like Zoom? I mean, come on, guys. Let's spitball some ideas. Let's spitball some people. What do I think about opposite universe? If you guys know a YouTuber named Comics Explain, I'm basically following him when he does like a summary of the books. The one book that I am following though is Absolute Batman. I have been reading that myself, and I want to get into Absolute Flash. I am looking forward to Absolute Green Lantern because I want to see how that comes out. That's another one, Gore the God Butcher and Doctor Strange. I think that could be an interesting pairing. I'd like to see a new Venom fight the Hulk. Like, I'd like to see a new Venom, kind of like a Matt Gargan, kind of like Hulk Venom. Like a big hulking Venom fighting against the Hulk. Daredevil and Carnage. I think that could be a good one too. I mean, I'm cool with Spider-Man and Carnage, but I think Cletus Cassidy would be a better Daredevil villain. A serial killer, and Daredevil, the guy that never kills or shouldn't kill. Bullseye. We could do a someone takes out a hit on the Black Panther. Bullseye goes to Wakanda to fight the Black Panther. I'm pretty sure there was, but they don't mix it up often. But Kraven, Kraven and Black Panther. There you go, Kraven and Black Panther. See, we can mix these people up. We can build new. I'm a pro wrestling fan, right? Do you know how boring pro wrestling would be if the same people just fought each other all the time? And sometimes that crap happens. Comic books need to be like pro wrestling. You gotta mix it up. Give us a new matchup, a new style, a new thing, and let's rock with it. Let's see how that plays out. I think that's a little too far. I mean, that's crossing worlds. Juggernaut and Thor, I think they have fought before. But I'd like to see Juggernaut fight with more people than just the X-Men. I don't even understand why Juggernaut keeps fighting the X-Men. Juggernaut's not even a mutant. So why is he always fight? I mean, yeah, he is step brothers with Professor X. And that doesn't even make sense either. Why are they step brothers? For what? What? I mean, that's another thing that's supposed to be comic accurate. Are we ever going to get a comic accurate Juggernaut? And if we do we acknowledge that he's a step brother to Professor X? Captain Cold and Green Arrow. That would be a good fight. That would be a real good fight. I don't know why. Well, then again, Captain Cold is a Flash rogue, but like as a one-off, I'd like to see that as a one-off, or maybe Spider-Man versus Blob. Oh yeah, I'd like to see how Spider-Man would handle the Blob. What kind of villain versus villain story could we get? I would like to see how Doctor Doom would handle Magneto. Like, would Magneto just crush Doctor Doom, or does Doctor Doom? How does Doctor Doom counter Magneto? That's a question. How would Doctor Doom deal with Magneto? Because like he has a whole armor. I think we've seen Iron Man fight Magneto. That's another question. Like, how do people with armor fight against Magneto? I like to see Mr. Negative versus Shang-Chi. Like, take the whole like Mr. Negative from the PlayStation Spider-Man game with his whole army and like gang, and rather than fight Spider-Man, I like to see Mr. Negative versus Shang-Chi. Or heck, since the MCU did it, I want to see Mandarin with the 10 rings. Not the 10 ring, not the arm rings, but like with the Makuan rings. Give me like comic Mandarin versus Shang-Chi. See, we just don't have enough fun with comic books anymore. We just don't, like, we can have so much fun if we up, mix up these fights, have some interesting fights. Everything ain't gotta be comic accurate. Like, I like to see She-Hulk fight Hammerhead because the whole upper part of his body, his skeleton, the upper half of his skeleton is covered in adamantium. I think like he has an adamantium skeleton from like his waist up. So like I think he'd be a good fight for like She-Hulk. Spot versus the Fantastic Four? Yes. How would the Fantastic Four deal with the Spot? How would Mr. Fantastic tackle the Spot? I think Spot would be a great Fantastic Four villain. Because up until Spider-Verse, he wasn't being used. Until the Spider-Verse movie came out, Spot wasn't even being used like that. Like with the recent Captain America movie, I would like to see a Red Hulk versus Captain America fight on a regular basis. Because I kind of like to see the matchups, the David versus Goliath kind of thing. Kind of see like where they stack up. I don't think Punisher would go after Black Cat. I mean, they could fight, but I don't think Punisher would kill Black Cat if he really wanted to. She could put up a fight, but I think he'd still get her. Ooh, I got one. What if Madam Web was the new professor at the X school? Like, give me Madam Web leading her own group of mutants, kind of like Xavier. Because I think she is a mutant, right? So, like, give me something like Madam Web making her own team of X-Men. I'd like to see that. Because I'd like to see what type of team Madam Web would put together. Like, I don't know, do something where like Charles, well, I mean, he's usually dead anyway. Have something where like Charles Xavier is gone, and like she takes over running the school, and like she's like, because I think she's in a wheelchair also, like Charles. So yeah, have Madam Web lead the X-Men, because I think she's a telepath and she can see the future. So you can have Madam Web leading her own group of X-Men. She picks out her own team, her own original team of X-Men. Maybe have some classic people up there. Ooh, Dr. Fate and Lobo. That would be an interesting fight. My thing is, styles make fights, and you gotta get the clash of styles. Spider-Man's not a mutant, but he has worked with the X-Men, and sometimes he does teach at the X school as a substitute teacher. So, like, if you wanted to make your own new X-Men team, and you put Spider-Man on the new X-Men, I'd be down for that. You could call him Madame's X-Men, or Madam Web's X-Men, or you could call her Madam X. I don't know who I would put on this team. I wouldn't just fill it up with just X-Men. I would put Gambit on the team, though. I don't know why. I just feel like if she were making a team, Gambit would be there. Gambit, Spider-Man. Try to use some people that don't get used often. Juggernaut and Hulk have fought multiple times. But I do think they should fight more often, though. Sabretooth and Iron Fist. That's a good clash up. I'd like to see them fight. Because I think Sabretooth might be able to take him. Give me something like Luke Cage and Tombstone. Or, Vision, Chaos King. Huh. Swamp Thing and Ivy. Well, that would be a good fight, but the question is, could Swamp Thing fight Ivy, or would Ivy be able to like control Swamp Thing? But I don't know why they why they don't have a matchup. Like, get Ivy out of Gotham. Send Ivy to go fight Swamp Thing or something like that. Hmm. I just think, one, we need to start making new villains. Like that new Lantern that showed up in the Green Lantern comics. Um, the new Lantern that's powered by sadness and sorrow. Why, why aren't we tapping into that, man? Like new lanterns made on the emotional spectrum. Give me a Lantern Corps. Like we got will, we got hate, we got fear, we got love, compassion, greed, hope, life, death. Let's get the sad lanterns. Like, give me like a Lantern Corps made from sadness and despair. Give me a Green Lantern Corps based on pride. Like a Lantern Corps based on like the pride, the proud something like, I'm talking about people that have like Vegeta level of pride. Like someone who's powered off of their own pride. Pride in someone else. Sadness. Pride. Um, Apathy. What about a lantern that's powered on apathy? A lantern with no feelings. Like, could that even work? A lantern core, a lantern ring made from the power of feeling nothing, of not having any of basically cutting off the emotional spectrum. You achieve a greater power, the power of nothing. Like, how powerful would you be then? I mean, you could make one off of jealousy. I would like to see a lantern core of depression. How many people would join that core? Hmm. I'm trying to think who else is there. Uh, I feel like the rage is like in general always just angry. I don't think it really matters what type of angry you are. I think it just matters that you're always angry. Yeah, that could be a good divider. I mean, I think the Green Lantern has more than enough to carry his own franchise if they ever decide to use him right. Lantern of Normal. I don't know how that will work. Uh, don't think we could get a new Ghost Rider. Hmm. Lantern Corp of Stress. I don't know if stress is an emotion. I think that's more of a feeling. Silver Surfer versus Gore the God Butcher. Yeah. Could definitely be an interesting fight. But yeah, man. We always talking about this comic accurate. I understand why. But in closing, we just need to branch out, man. We need to branch out, do more, think more ideas, not limit ourselves to just these bullet points of characters. Especially with someone like Spider-Man. Like, I know they just announced Spider-Man Brand New Day. I was still thinking that it might be a prank, but look, I'm looking forward to the Spider-Man movie. All right, I'm not trying to hear about the false rumors and all this nonsense. I love Spider-Man, and I know I'm gonna be there opening weekend. I'm gonna be there. 2020, 2026? Yeah, 2026. July 31st, 2026. You'll catch me at MacArthur Theater. No, at Cinemark. Yes, you will catch me at Cinemark. Opening night. That's where you'll find me. You will find me at the Cinemark, July 31st, 2026. I will be there in my Spider-Man shirt, my Spider-Man cap, my Spider-Man jacket. Buy me a big bucket of Spider-Man themed popcorn. Big Spider-Man drink. Because it's Spider-Man, man. It's Spider-Man season. And look, people want to crap on the MCU. People want to say, oh, the MCU is bad. The MCU died. The MCU fell off. And my thing is, shut up. Just shut up. It's time for us to be happy, man. Marvel is up right now. I'm ready to see what we get. I'm ready to see what happens. We got the Fantastic Four coming out. We got Superman Legacy coming out. Now, personally, I don't care for the Clayface movie. I don't care what they say. I don't think Clayface should be getting his own movie. I think that is absolutely stupid. But you know what? But we're up right now. Now is the time to be enjoying these new comic books coming out. These new stories. I want to look forward to it. I want to be happy, man. Everybody always want to be depressed. Everybody always want to assume the worst. Like, can we not just be fans and enjoy the moment? We can critique it when it's time to, but it ain't even come out yet. So, for anybody else out there, all I can say is, don't listen to the news, all right? Don't listen to the people online that just want to crap on everything 24/7. That want to complain about this and that. Because you got a lot of people who are broke, bitter, angry, and just looking for 15 minutes of fame. That's all it is. Because look, I don't care. MCU, no MCU. I'm going to be rocking with Marvel and DC regardless. I'm going to rock with what I rock with. It don't matter. I don't need a million people to love it. All that matters is that I love it, that you love it. That is the most important thing. Don't let people discourage you from what you love. And don't let them rob you of the joy of what you love. Look, some things are going to be better than others. I don't like everything that Marvel does. I don't like everything that Marvel puts out. But that's not the point. I know I love it. Heck, I'm a Boruto fan. I'm the biggest Boruto fan you will ever meet. And I have to deal with Naruto people who hate on it 24/7. It don't matter. I love Naruto. I grew up with Naruto. Naruto was my show. It was the series that really got me into anime. I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for Naruto. But I also love Boruto. I love them both. I'm not going to pick one over the other. I love Marvel. I love Marvel whether it's good or whether if it's bad. I love Captain America Brave New World. I hated Kraven. Both are Marvel. Well, technically one is Sony, but that's besides the point. The point is, just love what you love, man. Don't get hung up on this comic accurate 24/7. If you enjoy it, go and enjoy it, and don't let people shape how you feel about it. That's the most important thing I can say. Anywho, we're going to wrap up this live stream. Just wanted to come out, talk to you guys, get this off my chest. Probably might do another live stream this week, not sure. Next week, I do want to make this announcement. Next week, we are going to be hitting the gas. We're putting our foot on the gas pedal next week. Next week and going forward, we're doing double uploads. Sometimes we'll upload on Saturday and Sunday. We're hitting the stories at full speed, so I hope you're ready. We're going to be bringing some new animes, stories to the channel. We're bringing Twin Star Exorcist. We're bringing Yu Yu Hakusho. We're bringing Certain Magical Index. We're bringing a whole lot of new stories here to the channel. Stuff that's never been done before. So if you're excited, please be ready, because next week I'm hitting this thing full throttle. And also, as a final note, I want to try to do this going forward. I'm not going to try to finish all my stories in 1 year. All right, this is the final message. What I mean by that is everything that was announced this year, I'm going to complete it, even if we have to go into 2026. So if we have to go into 2026, so be it. If we have to have a little bit of run over, so be it. I want to try to finish everything in 2025. But if we have to go over, we just go over. But that's the last thing I want to say. Thank you all. Look forward to what's to come next week. Again, foot on the gas next week. Double uploads. So if you guys love 2 videos a day, you'll get 1 in the morning, probably around 10, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And the second one will be out around 3, 4, maybe 5 o'clock that same day. But yeah, we're going to be hitting things full throttle. Thank you all for your support. Thank you for coming through for the live stream. As always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. Hit that bell for post notifications. Stay up to date on everything that is PowerCore Productions and Podcasting that has to come out now and in the future. Take care, and I'll see you guys next time.